Bit Digital came to the bottom of this megaphone and had a very impressive bounce off of it. Bit Farms still trailing along on the 50-day SMA. Cipher warrants are in an interesting place. Bitcoin also quite interesting with its ETF as well as the underlying asset. And CleanSpark and Mara are doing a bit of a tightrope walk. Let's take a look at that real quick on this special mid-morning edition of TradeCade. Welcome back. Right now I've got the Bit Digital chart up right now. You can see that we came right up to this megaphone bottom here. So we got the megaphone going on here. We came right up to the bottom and we bounced. The fact that we bounced and didn't break through it is very good news. Usually on this third touch on the megaphone bottom, that would have been where we'd made the break and fell down. We didn't do that. That is actually quite bullish in my opinion. If you go in here, here's what I think we're seeing. So we came here, right? This is not the BTBT chart. This is zinc, I guess. You see it made a bottom, came to the bottom, came to the top, came back to the bottom, came to the top for the second touch of the top. So we had two touches on the top, two touches on the bottom, came down for that third touch on the bottom, didn't break it, ran up. So if we come into this chart, when you get that third touch, that's when you're going to want to see it break. Like right here on the way down, it would have broken and came down. If it's coming back up on that third touch, it'll bounce and go up. We didn't do that. We bounced. We bounced. Look at this chart compared to this one here, right? This one was moving down, started doing a megaphone, bounced, and then went on its way up. Here we're on our way down. We start doing one touch, two touch, second touch on the bottom, second touch on the top up here. Now we're on a third touch on the bottom. We didn't break through, we bounced. If tomorrow is a green day for Bit Digital, I'm going to be feeling very bullish on it. And that doesn't mean that we're going to go flying high up to, $4 or anything, but I do think some of these SMAs that are above us right now are in range us to come and retest. Now that could lead to further downside once it gets up there, but it's very promising that this candle came down, touched almost exactly to my line. Like, look at it, touched my line exactly, and then came right back up to my box, touched that exactly, and stopped, giving us this shooting star if it closes like this today. That's very interesting. This is very similar to this candle over here, with a really long tail and tiny slim little body that led into some big bullish moves. Now that did bleed off, like we went into the 50-day SMA and then bled off back down again, which we've done in the past before a couple of times. But if we were to do that now, that would be a move from $2.43 all the way up to $3. That's a 50-cent move. That's huge. Imagine if you had options or something on that. Now, this is not a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. It's just what the technicals are saying. And then it's saying that this megaphone didn't break, meaning this could be a bullish megaphone, actually. Bit Farms is straddling that 50-day SMA. We're just beneath it. This could be a dip, retest, further dip scenario where we come down into this ascending trend line down here at the 287 level. I kind of hope that doesn't happen, but it's on the cards right now. We are seeing a little bit of weakness on this, especially with this red arrow on the daily chart from 2 days ago. This could be just a breath before further downside on Bit Farms. We are in a downward channel. This one, to be exact, let me find my channel here, right here. It's very aggressive. It's very, very aggressive. So it could be broken easily, but that's what we're looking at right there. We came to the top of it and came to the center of it. Now we're teetering near the top of it again, and we may continue on back to the bottom of it, which would be very dramatic. Now, if that breaks and when that breaks, we'll see. And that could have been seen over here on this RSI divergence back here. So we had an RSI that was overbought over here on this high in early February, mid-February, and then we had a lower RSI here when we went to this higher peak in late February. As you can see down here, it got underneath the overbought territory. And as soon as we broke this ascending line, as soon as we broke that ascending line right here on February 29th, and then we had a little breath, we were on our way down. That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about RSI divergence, which was present in some other charts as well. So this is still looking a little bearish on Bit Farms, unfortunately, but we could be coming near the end because this is a double top scenario. and we could be coming to the end of that move. All we need to do is break out of this descending channel and get above the 50-day SMA again, and we're kind of bullish again, to be honest. Cipher warrants, these got to a place that made me very excited, actually. We're in this very aggressive downward trend, which I'm going to move this now because it's shifted, so we're here. We're right there. We're at the top of that box right now. This could come back to the bottom of that box, which would correlate with the bottom of this ascending channel here at 73 cents. We did nearly come to it. We came to about 75 cents yesterday, but look at that. We're following this descending trend line, so I don't think we have upside past $1.03 for a while. If we get above this green line, though, I'm very bullish. I'm bullish up to nearly 180. Well, initially, I'm bullish up to 140 and then 180 if we conquer 140. First, we have to get past $1, though. So this is the resistance line. We are in this ascending channel again. This is an area where I start getting interested in these warrants. Now, like I've said before, I don't really particularly care for Cipher. I will have to look into its ownership again to see how that has changed and fluctuated over the time. I'm not exactly sure where they are right now and if BitFury has done it sell or not. It might have in all of this negativity, all these red days. It might have already done it. So that would be great. I'll have to look into it before I would get into this position. And this is not a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. But every time we get into this, every time we've gotten into this ascending channel here, we have seen some upside. And this time was no different, right? We came down into it, bounced near the bottom, not quite to it, went to the top of it, above it, came back to the center, hung out there for a little while, and then bounced in a big way. Now we came to the top, did a little bounce, and then we came to the bottom, and we bounced all the way back to the top of it. Now, if we see some weakness in the next day or two, I would expect to see these warrants come back down to like the 75 to 73 cent range. And sometime between now and the end of April, or if we're really going to be made to wait end of July, I expect to see this back at the 140 to 180 range, maybe even getting above the $2 range if Cipher itself can get to, the $6 or $7 range again. So that's what I'm looking at with the warrants. Again, these are super, super, super risky. So, do your own research, come to your own conclusions about whether or not it's a worthy swing trade or not. I don't see this as an investment. Perhaps you do. That's up to you and your own decision-making processes for that. But I thought I'd bring that to your attention that we are back in this ascending channel. We are back in an area where it is catching my eye and gaining interest from me personally based on this price action. I also get Bitcoin. Bitcoin, we're basically almost gaining back everything that we lost yesterday. We're almost there. We're just a few $1,000s away from coming right back up to where we were before, which would make this look like one massive bull flag if it ends up being the case. I think our weekly candle is a lot better looking now. Yesterday it was looking like a blow off top. Today it's just looking like a bit of a doji. If we get a little higher, it's going to be pretty bullish. That's pretty cool. I'm very excited about that. Yesterday was really just a blip, and that really was the sales coming off of GBTC. Now you see here the outflows yesterday were $332 million. The overall volume for GBTC yesterday was nearly $3 billion. That means that there were excess of 1.6 billion in sales of GBTC in order to get that outflow. So I'm pretty sure that Genesis is now out of sales for their GBTC. I'm pretty sure they're out of their position. Now, I can't be certain of that, but I'm pretty sure they are. And if they are, there's nothing, and that would also explain that there's nothing but upside today. I'm also very happy I held on to my Clean Spark, woo, because it is doing great today. We're up 11%. We bounced right off of this area here, right off of the midpoint of what would have made a double top. Now, we are trapped between the 50 and the 15 SMA. That's not good. For me to be bullish midterm, like talking about like the next 90 days or so on Clean Spark, price needs to get back above this yellow line, this 15. Currently, I've got a red arrow pointing down on the daily chart, indicating that this could potentially be a little head and shoulders sort of scenario, or double top, however you want to interpret it, but it's bearish either way. This isn't a bearish candle, not a bearish day or anything. We're looking really good. We're getting very close to this. This could reject us though, and then the 50 would be the thing that catches us. And as I've mentioned in previous videos, even if we came all the way down to this 50, we are still bullish on a zoomed out chart on the weekly. Still bullish. We can come all the way down to 12. Honestly, we can come all the way down to the 200 week at 966 and still have a bullish chart on weekly. As long as we don't take out these lows here at $6, we are still stair-stepping up on the weekly. So keep that in mind. Don't get too scared. Of course, again, not a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any assets, not financial advice in any way whatsoever. This is simply informational, entertainment. That's all. Back to Mara. Mara, I like this candle. I do like the candle it's forming right now. It's looking a little bit like it's trying to make some kind of shooting star thing go on here. We are in a compression right here. This is compressed price-wise. We are very close between the 50 and the 15 EMA. We're actually between the 50, and the 15 with the 5 in between those two as well. This is going to start creating a bit of a coil here, like a spring making pressure in between here. We might get stuck between these two for a while, fluctuating sideways in Mara. That could happen. If that does happen, the next move that happens will be explosive, and I'm thinking it would probably be to the upside. I don't see how it could be to the downside unless marathon, something catastrophic happens. Like even the dilution coming through isn't going to stop some of this momentum going up. Now, I think the ultimate upside to marathon is lower than it used to be, especially now that they've diluted by 25% just in the last, well, week or two. That kind of actually upsets me. But overall, I'm still seeing potential of taking out this high, maybe not reaching previous all-time highs in the 80s, but the 40s or 50s are still within reach overall. And on a weekly chart, just like I said with Clean Spark, as long as we stay above in this ascending channel that I've got drawn right here that I just clicked on, as long as we stay inside of that and above $20, this is still bullish on a larger chart pattern perspective. So keep that in mind. That's all I've got for today. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a profitable day.